Morning Crossfire on 95.1 Nigeria Info.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. 6:32, time for us to see what the headlines are saying this morning. We've got The Punch, Daily Trust, Guardian, Sun, and The Nation this morning. Also note that the headlines are only read as published according to the guidelines of these various media outlets and newspapers, so ensure that you have the facts and every detail that you need while you react to these headlines. On The Punch, Labour mates Tinubu insists on 250,000 naira minimum wage. Local government funds. Supreme Court decides federal government suit against governors today. Reps panel quizzes minister alleges 1.5 billion naira diversion. Federal government projects massive food price crash January. Ex-Accountant General begs for time to refund looted funds. Federal government projects massive food price crash January. New measures will address high food costs, says Agriculture Minister. Imported food commodities will be subjected to recommended retail price. Tinubu swears in 8 permanent secretaries. Conflicting orders embarrassing, erring judges risk sanction, CJN. Businessman bags live jail for raping daughter in Lagos. 12 states allocations rise by 40% as FAC hits 4.5 billion naira. 34% of Nigerians' education health expenditure lost to absenteeism. Stakeholders demand parole funding to decongest Delta prisons. Woman nabbed for attempting to smuggle drug to Abuja inmate. Tinubu caged inside presidential villa, says Ndume. Let's move on to the Daily Trust. Tinubu has been caged. Ndume fires fresh shot. Prepare your defense for anti-corruption agencies. Kaduna Assembly replies El Rufai's men. Senator proposes bill seeking creation of new state from Kanu. Bread beyond reach. Citizens lament. The writers right here say bakeries shut down due to rising cost of production. Nigerians seek relatively cheaper foods. Government must act now. Master bakers. Thugs, residents clash in Rano over Sanusi's emissary. Borno government reintegrates 8,490 repentant Boko Haram members. Conflicting court orders. CJN vows to deal with errant judges. Samoa report. Federal government to await position of media ombudsman. Go and face anti-corruption agencies. Kaduna Assembly replies El Rufai's ex-commissioners. Fury over deplorable roads in Ogun. Women minister reps in shouting match over alleged diversion of 1.5 billion naira. Fury over deplorable roads in Ogun. NNPC 6 new oil-backed loan to boost finances. Let's move on to The Guardian. Abuse, violation of urban planning breeds homelessness. CSOs, others fault livestock ministry as NRC resumes cattle transport by rail. High tariff worsens MDA's electricity backlog, threatens supply. Governors panic as Tinubu meets Labour over minimum wage. Hashtag EndSARS, ECOWAS court finds federal government guilty. Minister confirms duty-free policy as federal government targets crash in food prices. Supreme Court delivers judgment on local government autonomy today. Strange illness kills 12 in Gombe community. Nigeria suffering from acute teacher shortage. Classrooms, UBEC laments. Troops nab 3 suspected kidnappers, rescue 2 victims in Taraba. We are studying presidential pronouncement on food import, says Customs. Police in Abuja arrest alleged dealer in human body parts. Suspected headsman kill 55-year-old farmer in Delta community. Court jails 3 internet fraudsters in Kaduna. Moving on to The Sun. NLC, TUC insist on 250,000 naira minimum wage as Tinubu calls for talks. Supreme Court set to deliver judgment on local government autonomy suit. Reps, Minister, Baker, over 1.5 billion naira contractors fund. I'd rather resign than rule on bended knees. Fubara. Tension over Soludo's re-election as INEC recognizes Njoku's led APGA Exco. 1.9 trillion naira 2024 budget. NDDC management appears before Reps Committee. Over 10 million Lagos residents lack access to potable water despite 16 billion naira allocation in 5 years. That's according to a report. Tinubu directs step down of works memos, others review. Inflation. Nigeria's purchasing power declined by 56% in 2 years, according to a report. And that's it on The Sun. Let's move on to our final stop for today, which is The Nation. Federal government kicks off food security emergency plan. Tinubu has political will to develop Niger Delta, says Otuaro. Your seats remain vacant, Fubara tells Amawele 24 others. Ex-Power Minister Merman faces 33 billion naira fraud charge. Cyberbullying. Celebrities should be free to take necessary actions, says Saidi Balogun. Amotekun. Successes, challenges, and prospects. That's it on The Nation this morning. Time to get to your reactions right now. We're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja. You can go on there to watch the show live and also drop your comments. Please note when you get through on the phone lines, move away from your device, state your name, your location, and kindly go straight to sharing your thoughts. Numbers to call this morning: 0700 951 0000 and 08095974869. You can also send a WhatsApp message or call 08099930137. Jagon Molu Sam, good morning. Thank you for joining in. You're streaming from Borno State. Good morning, Johnson Ochoche on YouTube. My night was good. Thank you for asking. And Mahmoud Mohammed says, Samoa agreement, there is no smoke without fire. The president must come with clean hands before we believe him again. The president should bring back fuel subsidy, electricity, and please solve insecurity, is how he ends his message. Let's get to you now. Good morning.
Good morning, Itodo.
Welcome.
Prophet Michael Chinwoke.
Please go ahead.
I would rather resign. Please, Kubara. God doesn't work with double-faced people. Any person that is a double-faced person, God doesn't work with him. Let's read Matthew 23 and finish it. Then we'll know what I'm saying here. Matthew 23, 1 to the end.
Who are you referring to as double-faced, Prophet? Hello? Okay. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome.
Hello.
I can hear you. Good morning. Okay, something wrong with that connection. Welcome.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning once again, perfect gentleman to the Habakar calling from Awalada.
Please go ahead.
We don't know how we can believe this government. They are making another empty promises of crashing the prices of goods and services by January. We don't have it to this government. We have lost confidence. They continue making rhetoric, and we are in emergency. Hunger is a serious issue. Absent poverty is a serious issue. They should address all these issues as at now. It's not making rhetoric. They should face it. Mr. President should speak up. If not, there is calamity. There is disaster in this country. That is my take.
Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Diki Itodo.
Welcome.
The Agaba Idon one and only.
Thank you.
I want to commend the government. They say by January, the food price will crash down. I say kudos to them. But something needs to be done about the local farmers. Most of the food being consumed in this country is being provided by these local farmers. And this local farmer has been chased from their ancestral home. So I'm urging government to do the needful when it comes to the insecurity. And now we are hearing about repented Boko Haram bringing in back to the society, about 450 of them. I have no contention with that. What have the government done to the victims? What have the government do to the people that lost their livelihood? What have the government do to the women that have become widows? What have the government do to the children that have become orphans? What have the government do to the community that have been raped by this criminal? Now you are spending our hard-earned taxpayer money to get the repentant Boko Haram, bringing them to the society. Government must look into this thing. They should think out of the box about this insecurity to see how they will cut this insecurity off. So these are the things. Thank you for giving me the privilege. Now go there.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Itodo.
Welcome. Sorry about that. Good morning. Good morning. You sound really far away from your device. I can barely hear you. You sound really far away. Do you want to call back, please? Or move away from where you are. Let's see if that helps your connection. Welcome.
Good morning, Itodo. Let me off with you, please. Sorry.
All right.
Good morning.
Welcome. Good morning.
Thank you. This is Mary from Gwagwalada.
Please go ahead, Mary.
Federal government predicted that in January, prices of food will come down. That's a lame prediction as far as I'm concerned. Who cannot predict that? January, they would have done harvest now. People would have harvested their crops. So well, psychologically, you know that things will come down a little. It's not what are the measures they are putting in place? If they have any measures to put in place to make food or prices of food come down, they should do it now. If you say you are predicting, even me, I can predict that one. Everybody can predict that one. By November, December, people have started harvesting food. So naturally, prices of food will come down a little. So what is federal government? That one is a very lame prediction. What is federal government putting in place to let the price or to make the prices of food come down? If they have any strategy, let them do it now. It is now that there is no food that you make the price of food come down, and we know that, okay, these are the indicators you use, these are the strategies you have employed. Not when you tell us in January, as even me, I can predict that one. So as far as I'm concerned, that prediction is very lame.
All right.
And then reintegrating Boko Haram into the society. This is the problem. This is our problem. People go and kill people, chase them out of their ancestral homes, chase them away from their farms. The people are in IDP camps. The people whose parents and children and husbands have been killed are in the IDP camp. And then the killers are the ones now being reintegrated into the society. And you say you want to fight insecurity. I don't know how that will work. I just don't understand how that will work.
Right.
So government should come out clean, because I feel that something is smelling somewhere.
All right, Mary.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hello, Itodo.
Yes, welcome.
This is Charles speaking.
Welcome, Charles. Please go ahead.
You know, most times, some of us are just tired of the kind of things we hear in this part of the world. Because we have talked and talked and talked. At a point, we are called well as a matter of things. But now I think it's becoming obvious. We are waiting for the worst to happen, and it will come. Because this is the only place in the world where terrorists are rehabilitated and sent back to the society. In fact, there have been rumors of them being sent back to the military. And yet these terrorists have not stopped.
Well, that has been dispelled by those agencies.
Mm-hmm.
Those rumors have been dispelled by those agencies.
Okay. However, the grammar is put up. And the victims are not even wallowing in IDP camp. Their ancestral homes have been taken over. And everybody kept quiet, playing politics, ethnic bigotry, religion, busybody. There is no place in the world this rubbish will happen. It's only in Nigeria. This is not a country. This place is not a country.
All right.
At all. I only pity those this is a country. We don't have a country. This is not a country.
All right, Charles. Good morning.
Good morning, Itodo.
Welcome.
Greet everybody. And I'm working at Great Overall Pharmacy. He's another calling from Niger State. It's strange this evening in far north, Medjugorje. It's wrong with Itodo. People did not feel fine and they did not feel well. What they said? Understand? We are carrying in Lagos about this cholera 16. Cholera. What causes cholera? It's a low standard of living. The federal government should do something about it. Cost of studying free in importation tax. You see, and now they say till January, who is receiving who? Common food have turned to refinery. Today you say this, tomorrow you say that. The government should do the needful. You should do the needful. That's my take. Thank you very much.
All right, Donatus, let's go on to Facebook right now and take some of your comments. Golden Abera watching from Sileja, thank you. Dr. Mrs. Umar Lebar says, we are optimistic that the Supreme Court will give justice today. Local government as a government at the grassroots, justice demands that it is autonomous and must maintain financial autonomy. Democracy must not be compromised in any way and at any time. Free, fair, and transparent elections at the local government is a beginning and hope for true democracy. Mba Nkechiku says, no drinking water in Lagos. What have the previous governments been doing? Which way Nigerian is what Simon Collins is asking. And Jonah Cyril, good morning. Watching live from Sapele in Delta State. Thank you for joining in. Also, Francis Namani says the president should use his veto power to address political crisis rocking Rivers State for the interest of the masses and the cause of our democracy. As teaching time saves 9, may God help us. Importation of food items is not a solution to food crisis, is how Ogbonna Efoke begins his message. My question is, where is the forex to import the food items? Let the government face the insecurity ravaging our land so that farmers can go back to the farms. And Yusuf Usman Richmond says, only in Nigeria someone is wrong or indicted for corruption and the person will be ranting. Another off your mic, Honorable Minister, is what he ends his message with. May God bless Nigeria. Eleke Kelly, your seat remains vacant, says Fubara to the 24 lawmakers, and that is true. Secondly, Supreme Court will give justice in favor of the local government autonomy. Eleke ends there. Kabir Usman says, until January, before the prices of food items come down, Nigeria, my country, I pray by January, let's see the results, not postponing the date again. And Atta Abdul says, reopening of borders for grains importation will be a good measure to curb this menace of food shortage and price hike. The capitalists should kindly swing into action by importing consumable goods to compete with local producers. By these forces of demand and supply will definitely determine the food prices. And Mike Mfon says, greetings to Mary in Gwagwalada. I love listening to her. All right. Let's go on to WhatsApp right now, shall we? A government should recruit teachers. There are so many teachers out there and there is no work for them, is what Aka Fred in Suleja says. God bless Nigeria. And pardon of repentant Boko Haram members again, the ones done in the past. We've seen where it has taken the country to. Who is doing this disservice to Nigeria? God bless us. God help us. God will in Brick City. 6:53 right here. At 6:55, we'll go on a break. On the 7, we have the news coming up. But I'll take one call right now. You have 60 seconds. Please go straight to sharing your thoughts. Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome. Okay, you sound really far away. It's hard to make out what you're saying. So I'll let you go. And maybe you can call a different number this time. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, the King Itodo, Abubakar Ali Kitile speaking, calling from PW Kubwa.
Welcome.
Three news items really tickle my fancy this morning. Number one, I think there is a systematic way for some people for not allowing Boko Haram to end. Because when you continue to say repentant, and the next time you catch them in the battle with Nigerian army, it means there are some people who want to ensure that this thing never ends. What about their victims? So they have killed innocent people with the blood on their hand, but they are repentant. What about their victims? This is very sad. Secondly, I cannot agree less with Senator Indumi. There are people blocking the right Nigerians that will tell Mr. President the real situation on the ground. Even if you import grains free of charge from Lagos to across the country, is it not fuel they are going to use or diesel? Is that not going to affect the price? The underlying news factor here is fuel subsidy. As long as fuel is sold at the rate it is selling, it means there is no energy security. When there is no energy security, affordability threshold will be taken out of the hands of the people. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Time for us to go on a break, but thank you very much for being a part of this segment. In case you missed out, you can go onto YouTube and Facebook right now at Nigeria Info Abuja to share your thoughts.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.